Leverkusen, and for Xabi Alonso, an unusual situation for him this season. We're not used to hearing from him after a defeat, Peter. How do you think he assessed that performance and reflected on it?
Yeah, he kind of went into it a little bit and then stopped himself. He didn't want to talk about it too much. But yeah, I think there were a few issues. You know, I think they couldn't keep hold of the ball. You know, he talked about playing that little one in, trying to suck a midfielder in, and then going a bit longer. I don't think they had the ability to do that because they didn't have a recognised centre forward really. You know, it felt like at times, certainly I think it was the second goal where Adli kind of gave it away. I think that kind of summed it up. It was they didn't have the ability to kind of play through Atalanta, and that was credit to them. But yeah, I mean, listen, he's a fantastic coach. What he's achieved has been nothing short of amazing. You know, he will be lifting European trophies, be it at Bayern Leverkusen or somewhere bigger. He's chosen to stay at Leverkusen for next year, and I think that shows the measure of the man. You know, he will have had offers, but I think, you know, Leverkusen have taken a chance on him, and he probably feels that he kind of owes them one more year, and I think that's a kind of measure of the man. You know, I've the pleasure of playing with him, and he's someone that I admire so much, someone that has, you know, values, and I think those values are why he's probably as successful as he has been in his first season in management. And
we don't know. They made that invincible Bundesliga season if he hadn't have committed his future, Joe, because what kind of effect that could have had on the players, we'll never know.
Yeah, I think first of all, it's a great, you know, to come out and lose the final like that and to come and talk the way he talked. And he's not experienced this season. I thought he showed a lot of quality there. And what he said, I brought these players in for this project. So that shows great integrity. He's going to stay and see the project out. It might be one more year, it might be more. You know, and so that is the measure of the man. You know, not something we often see in football. I think that'll hold him in good stead in the way he's doing. I think Wirtz tonight wasn't quite at it, and I think he only played 30 minutes at the weekend with his thigh injury. I don't think he was quite right, and I think that hurt him as well because he's not only is he a goal scorer, he's also a player that gets them through the midfield, lets them play. But credit to Atalanta and their boys in the midfield. But he couldn't get him up the pitch very well tonight, Wirtz. He wasn't quite at it. But he'll learn, Xabi Alonso, and he'll become even better.
In the Coppa Italia. And that was because he had to deal with a big physical striker, someone that could turn you and put pressure on you, which is mind-boggling to see that Xabi Alonso wouldn't have started with a striker, whether it was Boniface, whether it was Schick, who didn't even come off the bench today. You need to have that presence to put them under pressure, to have a presence up there who can hold the ball.
But they put in Boniface and they had the same results, basically.
He still kept the ball.
A little better.
Strength of Leverkusen that we'd never know what lineup Xabi Alonso is going to go with. So in some ways, hasn't that been the story of the season, these rotations?
Yes, but then when you're talking about consistency in a cup final and going with your best players, Victor Boniface is your best center forward. He showed that throughout his whole Bundesliga campaign. He left for African Cup of Nations. He gets injured. He found it difficult to get fit again in matches to finish it. Got 2 starts, so you felt his legs are under him. He's good to go. Biggest match of the season, you start him. Not idly. And Wirtz, yes, you have momentum in the way that they're dynamic. But in terms of switching the game up, because you need someone who can be a presence, who can hold up the ball. They didn't have any answers. So that reflects back to the preparation. You have Boniface as your 9, who can, if they're playing with 3, now you have Boniface as your 9, who can, if they're playing with 3, now he's going to have 2 of those guys with him because he's so strong. He can turn, he can hold up the ball. But then you give Wirtz a little bit more of a free role. Then you have Frimpong in that wing-back spot who can make those late runs, and instead of starting so high, then he takes away all the space that he runs into. So for me, it was just the preparation in this game. Xabi Alonso got it wrong, and he doesn't get too many wrong.
He was spot on in his analysis. That first pressure didn't allow him to play. I see where he was coming from in the team that he elected, but it didn't work out because Atalanta didn't permit that. And the conviction with which Atalanta closed them down, suffocated them, didn't allow Frimpong to find the space, didn't allow Grimaldo to bomb forward, not even on a long ball. Usually, when do we see from a stopped position or trying to bring a ball down? Never. We often see space. Cameras on him, he's already in 5th gear running after the ball. We saw that maybe once the whole game. And Xavi's very cold in the way that he analyzed the game. It's not emotional. It's a football thing.
Yeah,
Atalanta got it right.
I'd be that calm too if I went unbeaten. A full Bundesliga season. No, I don't necessarily agree with that because I think the attitude went with the poor touches, the poor missed passes that you saw. They believed they didn't have the energy today and they couldn't play out of pressure. They didn't try something different. If it doesn't work, right, try something different. You keep forcing it, that's insanity, which is what we saw from them. And so I think from that standpoint, as a manager too, he's got to be smart in the way that he talks. But I'm so proud of the group. You should be proud. You just went a whole season not losing in the Bundesliga, and you still have another trophy to play for. So, like he said, I want to see the response. In the Pokal final, they're not playing Atalanta. They're not playing a Champions League or a Europa League quality team. They're playing a Bundesliga 2 team.
Who's sitting in 13th place, by the way.
So from that standpoint,
for me,
they're not going to be pressing like Atalanta.
Thank you so much for coming to talk to us. The unbelievable unbeaten run for Bayer Leverkusen comes to an end tonight. Did the game go differently to how you were expecting it?
Absolutely. For sure, we were not planning to have a bad day today, but for sure we had. It was not meant to be today. We could not cope with many difficult situations that we were preparing because Atalanta, they demand you so much. 1v1 situations, duels, but we were not getting the ball in the right positions with advantage because they do that so good, and we were not able to come back and to get that. So it was not meant to be. The unbeaten run has come to an end, but congratulations to Atalanta. They deserve it, so nothing more to say.
They showed a lot of courage, really, to be brave, didn't they? They can press really high. And surprised them. There were quite a lot of turnovers when they're in midfield where they were really aggressive. Edison is in particular, you know, they were just really good today, weren't they? Sometimes you have to say the better team won, didn't they, today? They were just better almost in every phase.
Yes, I would say so. And once they scored the first goal, that gave them a lot of energy. Probably we have tried to play too many passes in the first zone when we should have played a little bit longer to attract the first one. But anyway, it was not about tactics. It was about today individually they were better and as a team as well. So learn from that. It hurts that it comes in a big day, the defeat. But we have another final on Saturday, and we will try to learn from today.
Physically, I was actually quite surprised how they were quite physical, weren't they, Atalanta today, into the duels. And obviously, when you win the duels, then it gives you a chance to counter-attack.
And they are very brave. They don't mind to be 1v1 situations, and we couldn't beat them in the last third. Even that when we had a slight chance to go one by one and to make a run, they defended very well, so we were not able to create chances. And yeah, it's not something that they are doing now this year. I think that with Gasperini, they have been doing that for the last years. They are a specialist, and they are a very special team. So today, after so many years, they differ. Today was not our day. Normally, we get in better positions with our game, but today we couldn't.
I know losing this unbeaten run will hurt, but you must be immensely proud of what you've already achieved this season. The season's not over after 52 games. You know, you must be incredibly proud.
Yeah, absolutely. For me, the result today doesn't change a bit.
No.
How proud I am from my players or what we are doing. You know, it hurts because we wanted to lift that trophy, but you can't get everything. We were lifting the Bundesliga on Saturday, and we'll have the chance to lift the Pokal on Saturday again. So yeah, it doesn't change the effort that the guys are giving. You know, after 51 games, we have gone to the 52nd. Okay, we have lost. This is football. The other ones they deserve, and we will have another chance on Saturday.
At such an early stage in your managerial career as well, has this gone way better than you were expecting it to go at this point?
Yeah, probably. For sure, I was waiting. Getting ready to do good things, but for sure this season it has overpassed all the expectations, and what we have achieved for a club as Leverkusen, it's great. And to be in the last week winning the Bundesliga, playing today, we couldn't make it, and going for the Pokal, it's unbelievable. So that means a lot. And first year as a coach, it's going quite well.
As a young coach, how can you get your team to be so kind of clear in that identity to play that way? Because from the outside looking in, it's so impressive how you guys kind of dominating in the game, in and out of possession?
Well, for sure it starts with a lot of work that we did, how to cope, which players and which qualities we needed before the season, and we made a lot of wise and intelligent decisions, most of them right, and that's why we have been able to be so consistent during the whole year. It's not easy, but once the players, they feel the idea, they feel how they want to play, and that works, and that they feel it's a good one. That's when you have a treasure and you need to be feeding that treasure, and you can relax. Till today it didn't work, but through all the year it has been phenomenal.
Xabi, can I ask what it is about this club and the structure that you found within it that A, made you want to stay and made you want to believe in it? Because the instinct of fans, media is to say, he should move on now, he's achieved so much. But what is it about the structure around you, the executives around you, that made you believe in this project, even beyond this year?
There are many things, for sure. I have said it, my first year, last year they came, or 18 months ago they came, and I was no one in coaching, so they believed, and they showed me that they give me the chance, and we have a very good connection. Many players, they came, I went to look for them, and they came to the project. So it was just too early, and I'm happy to be here. I think that I have to develop. For sure I will learn from today, and that's the experiences that we get to keep improving.
It's going pretty well so far for you, Xabi. Commiserations on tonight, but best of luck on Saturday in the Cup final, and we look forward to seeing you again soon. Thank you
very much.
We appreciate your time. Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you very much. Owen, what a manager.
What a guy, honestly. You know, how many guys come here after a game like that, after they lose, just to go and talk? So, and you know what? He's been in the game long enough to understand, you know, that the better team won today. You know, Leverkusen have an incredible season. They just didn't have their best today, and Atalanta did. Whether that, you know, and like you said there, you know, he'll learn from this. You know, as a young manager, he had an idea before the game what could work. He played Adli and Frimpong on the top of the pitch, verts and behind, but it didn't really work. You know, they kept turning the ball over, they couldn't keep it. So learning, you know, a learning one for Xabi. But what a guy. I mean, he's going to be one of the best without question.
Yeah, a very special coaching talent. No surprise, considering the guys he worked under as a player. A who's who of people who've won trophies like the one that Atalanta have won tonight. And also, you talked about learning. Last year, he comes in as an interim coach. He reaches a Europa League semi-final, gets knocked out by Roma, comes back to this year's semi-final, knocks Roma out, reaches a final. That's progress. Let's see what he does in the Champions League next year.
When you see the way his Leverkusen side play, Owen, who do you think, out of the managers he's played under, that he's taken the most inspiration from?
That's a great question, Jules. I think.
Thank you.
I think it's his own. You know, I think he's thought. Look, Xabi sees football in a certain way. The base in midfield, spraying balls all over the pitch, smart, not the quickest, but quick up here. That's a hybrid of, you know, it's interesting. I said, how can you get your team to play so clearly in the way you want to play? And basically, he says, I got players that can do these jobs on how I want to play. Today, it didn't come off for whatever reason. I think that's down to Atalanta. But I think he's got his own little hybrid of all the guys that he's had. And he thinks, right, I'm going to take what they've taught me, but it's still going to be my blueprint. And that, okay, today it didn't work, but for the other 51 games, it has. And he's going to win a double. They got Kaiserslautern on the weekend, the second division Bundesliga team. This is a team that never won. To go and win 2 trophies in his debut season. Look, going undefeated would have been the icing on the cake. But wasn't meant to be, as he said. But they're still on to an incredible season.
An unbelievable season. And by the way, just over to our left-hand side, the Atalanta fans have not moved. All the players still out on the pitch, a few of them doing media duties. They are going to have one heck of a party in Dublin tonight.